My name is Amanda Rosales. This is Joe Baca Middle School, and I teach 8th grade math, or Math 8. And this is my 8th year teaching, and this is the 3rd year I've been using the MARS activities, and this is the first year that I've really gone, everything is about discourse, everything is either group or pair, tons of discussion, and so it's the first year I've really seen the full benefit of incorporating it all the time.
What do you mean by benefit? What does that look like?
This is the first year that I've had, like every year there's always a couple kids in the class that it's just hard to get them to do anything, and I don't have that anymore. You know, there's days where maybe this one kid won't do something, but for the most part, most days I get some kind of involvement from everybody. Before I would punish, I don't want to say punish, but you get a grade on how much you finish. And this year I'm looking more at, are you participating and the kind of conversation you're having, and are you getting anything from it, and they're not getting punished for not finishing if I have 10 problems or whatever. And so I just see great benefit in it and more growth in the students. We are involved in, through a grant through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, we are focusing on discourse and how that benefits the students as opposed to direct instruction. Here's how you do it, here's some notes, do what I do now, and if you can do that, good for you. Now it's more, do you have an understanding? Can you talk about it? And if you can't, you better think of the questions you need answered to be able to get it. And so there's things to be gained both from a lower student and a higher student. Like a lot of my higher students, when we first started this, they would finish and then sit there like, you know, my part's done. And then if you come up to them, okay, can you explain to your group? They couldn't verbalize what they had done. They were just ready to get something done. And so they're gaining better understanding through trying to think about how to explain it, and the lower students are getting more understanding because they get to ask questions of their neighbors or see it modeled in, you know, if they're groups of 4, maybe they get to see it modeled 3 different ways, and hopefully they get one of them, and so I just see great benefit in it. We have a lot of EL students here, so there's always a blend of, like, most of them are 2s, 3s, and then some 4s. But we have a lot of students stuck at 3s. So it lets them hear different explanations, and here the students are using a lot of academic vocabulary because they realize they need it to explain things, so they're hearing it that way. And it's not just me up front saying, this is what you need to be able to say or do. They're getting to hear it in different ways and put it into their own words. And so I feel like their academic language is growing faster than if I were just to say, here's a vocabulary word, now practice what it is. They get to see through pictures and drawings of their classmates what it means and get a stronger, more concrete understanding of it. The biggest part that was probably the hardest for me to let go of was grading. I mean, I grade some things, obviously I grade tests and quizzes and stuff like that, which don't happen as frequently, like, because now I know through the discussion exactly where my kids are. Before I would give a quiz, and if they would do okay, like, okay, they missed number 3, but I didn't really understand why. It was just like, okay, everybody missed 3, let me reteach that lesson all the way. And so grading is more about how involved you are as far as discussion and just actively trying to learn. So I'm constantly going through my class. Like, I'm never up front, hardly ever anymore. And so I'm constantly going around and I'm constantly hearing exactly where they are. I know where my kids are, and it's not like, they kind of get it. It's like, no, they get this piece, but it's this little tiny thing. And then they usually can fix it in their groups. If I just throw a question out for them to think about, then they correct each other and they teach each other. And the kids fought me on it in the beginning. They were just like, you know, why are you being so mean to us? You're not teaching us things. And then it started out or you'd hear one kid go, oh, this is cool, like we just got it on our own, and now they're like, oh my gosh, we learned so much more this way. The kids acknowledge it. And so it was hard for me to let go, because I like I like having control, and I still have control as far as I know where my kids are, and I can control like where we go next as far as, you know, trying to clean up things, but they're in control of the class, and behavior is not even an issue anymore. They're always on task for the most part. I'm not saying every single kid every minute of class, but for the most part they know their group is relying on them, and so it's a team effort now, and you can't leave anybody behind, and they're always willing to help their group members. So it just, you know, before I was guilty of here's the direct instruction, here's some maybe fill-in notes, you know, or Cornell notes, and let's practice what we just learned. And now it's, okay, let's figure this out together. What do we know? How do we solve it? And the kids are really, they're in charge. And so that shift of power has been good, and just changing the way I grade. So, I mean, it's not like, oh, out of 20, you only got 10 right, or, you know, on homework, or most of the stuff is in class. I very rarely give homework unless it's, you know, a few problems left over, because I already know where they are. And so, to me, homework, they do the practice in class, and like I said, if there's extra, they do it at home, but it's just, it's practice. And at that point, they have more fun when there's something to find, rather than, you know, here's a word problem, circle the numbers you need, and you know, just do what you know you're supposed to do. They're like, okay, what do we need? How do we find that? And they have way more fun just engaging in that. So one student, I've had him the whole year, but in the beginning, when we were starting out things, I noticed he didn't do anything. And he told me he couldn't do anything. And then as we got more and more into the group work, and having like his group, you know, I tell them, you can't get off the hook. Everybody needs to be able to explain what you're working on to me. So I could call on anybody, and so his group was really good about being on him. And now, like today was a perfect example. This morning I had him first period. He was talking. He wasn't necessarily wanting to like write down anything, but he was talking, but then I saw him back off, like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm right. But he was still throwing his ideas out there, and then another student in his group was like, oh, I see what you're talking about. I think you're right. And like, just to see him, like to see those moments that he probably wouldn't have had, you know, because I know last year he didn't do well, and he just, I was told, sat there and didn't do any work. So to see just the engagement go from nothing to, oh, I am important, and I've really taken the focus off of you're right, you're wrong. It's let's talk about this. Okay, what do you think about this? Do you agree? And it's never, we're never like, oh, you're so smart, you know, you got it right, or oh, what's wrong with you, you got it wrong. It's figuring it out. So a lot of the pressure for those students who aren't good at math and they're afraid of being wrong has been taken off. And I just see so many of them. In the beginning of the year, it was constantly, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? And now they'll call me over and go, what do you think about this? And they won't ask me if they're right or wrong, because they know I won't answer it. But they start asking questions about, you know, that might help them figure out if they're right themselves or not. So it's just, it's like night and day. Like, it's huge. It's been more, I've always answered, like when they're doing group work, I've always answered their questions with questions, but I think moving away from, when I would do that before, it was like I had already taught the lesson, direct instruction, they'd had, you know, days, weeks of that instruction, and then it was, can you use this? And shifting it to them and putting the ball in their court has been really hard for me, because it was almost like, I don't want to say I had to let them fail before, but they did have to fall to see that they were learning from that fall. And so the hardest part was getting used to them. I mean, it took 4 months for them to finally buy into what I was doing because they hadn't seen it before. They would say, oh, I want to go back to this teacher because they're easy. They would tell me how to do it. And so the pushback from students and from parents, I had parents complain that I wasn't teaching their students. And so explaining to parents, like, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers, and it's not always just about a process. It's like, okay, now you're going to high school and you're going to have to solve these problems where it's like, what do I know and how do I use it? And the kids weren't able to do that before. We've never made them do that before. So just getting kids and students and parents to buy in has not been the easiest road. And that makes you question yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Because so many people are not liking it, but I know that the students are gaining so much more from it. So
to finish that, how do you know that? How do you?
I see it in kids that in the beginning of the year that I got, that they would tell me that I don't like math. It's not my favorite class. I'm here because I have to be. I'm seeing those kids excited about math and excited to figure out stuff and willing to talk about it, where before it was like, I'm not good at math. My parents say because they're not good at math, I'm not good at math, like it's hereditary. And, a teacher in 5th grade said I'm not good at math, so I just stopped trying. Like those kids, I really see those kids taking initiative now, like, maybe I do get this, and, I may not get it the first time, but that's okay. Like, this is a learning process, and I have to make those mistakes, and I see those students not shutting down right away like they would have before when, oh no, you're wrong, and then they're done. And so I'm just seeing kids more motivated to try, willing to attempt, because in the past that wasn't the case. You always have that handful of kids that no matter what, they've had some failure along the road, and it's like, I can't do that, so I'm not going to try. And I don't see too much of that anymore. I'm excited to see, I'm turning even more of it onto them. They're really the stars of the show, and so I want to see them run with that. Like, the math is getting more difficult, and so second semester, everything's more difficult, and I just want to see how they use what they've been doing and apply that. That was the main complaint we were getting from the high school. We get kids, they're not willing to try. They don't know what questions to ask, so they just don't. Or, they don't even know how to, an entry point to a problem. So just teaching them that there's different takes. Yes, there's a process, but you may start it differently than your neighbor, and that's okay. Or, you may do a different process and it still work to get the same answer. Why is that? And have them, just be willing to try. I hope that they see that they're more prepared for high school. I'm hoping that the kids understand that so that they don't get overwhelmed when they get there. But I'm just excited to see how they apply this whole process to more difficult math in the second semester. It's weird. Middle school, I've maybe had a few students come back. They'll email me occasionally.
Yeah.
I've had a couple in email tell me, now I know why you're so hard on us, but no specifics, like, how it helped them specifically. But they understand. I think when they have me, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so mean. She's not showing us, she's making us do this hard work. And at the time, I'm the bad guy, but I think towards middle to end of the year, they start seeing big picture and that they're actually gaining from it. So, I have current students already saying that because, right before the final for review, we went back to like direct instruction, like, let's just remember how to do these. And they were complaining. They're like, oh, we missed where we get to just try and you ask us. So they were actually begging me to do it the other way. So they complained the whole time, but then they realized, no, wait, it's good. So the kids notice it. And so I think that's really cool that they get why I'm doing what I'm doing. My role as a teacher is just to facilitate learning. I think it's so much powerful if I can not just show them, but guide them so they can figure it out themselves. I think there's something special about a student, and I think it helps their confidence when they're like, oh, I just figured that out. You know, the teacher didn't have to tell me. I did it on my own. And I think that sticks with them more than just, you know, a day of quietly writing down notes and just rogue learning. My job is just to make sure that they're engaged and just open to try to get what's in front of them. Not, you know, I think encouraging them and, you know, like calling out the competencies. I've seen huge results from that. Not like, oh my gosh, you're so smart, but I really like how you explained that, or I really like how you stuck with that. So I think I'm more like the cheerleader for them. Yes, I have to teach them. Like if I notice mass confusion, yes, I have to go back to. But it's more just to facilitate their learning and help them get to their goal without me putting them there, you know. You're getting 1 sheet of stories, and you're getting 2 sheets of graphs. Okay? You have 4 minutes from the time you get your papers to cut them out, so don't cut yourself, please. But make sure you cut them all out. Split up the page so that everybody has something to cut. Okay. Once you cut them out, start matching the stories to the graphs.
Yellow paper there, 2 yellow paper there, 1 white paper, 2 white papers.
Okay, give us one. Okay. The graph is just plain wrong. I told you, it's just a straight line.
Plain wrong, not plain.
I just don't know. It's just a. After
He's
the
walk-
party, Tom walked all the way home.
Slowly walked all the way home.
That's just a straight line then.
Exactly.
But it's plain. I don't even know. Just put that one. Just put that
Plain wrong.
This is, I know
Okay,
this
okay,
one
it's fine.
isn't
If
this.
this graph
Okay,
is
okay.
plain, then yeah, it would be that one.
one. But it says wrong.
Yes. So it's not that one.
Okay, this one.
This one isn't this one for sure.
So you
Because it
want.
said this one doesn't stop.
This one's just.
He
good
slows
like-
down a little bit, but he doesn't stop. Yeah, he does. It says he's.
Wait, no.
Yes, it says he stopped to buy a newspaper.
So he goes up.
Yeah, but you have to like walk
Stops
to the
up.
newspaper
And then
and then
he
like
ran.
go to the cashier and buy it and then leave. But you stop.
No, that's wrong because look,
No, but
Tom walked to the store and ended up honestly he bought a newspaper and then ran all the way back. So if he's running all the way back, it's supposed to be like, let's say this is like the place where he goes. Say he's at the store, he has to run all the way back because he's increasing speed.
yeah, but he.
I just got that from science. I'm just confused with science and this. So,
Well, technically, science and math are the same thing, but
I don't know. It's just a bar that's graphing.
you're thinking of physics.
The line is,
what about
the
this one?
more increase of speed.
That one just
think
makes
that
no
these
sense.
two
It
go
just
together.
goes up, down, goes back up.
So we got it.
But like, he's not at 2 places. I don't. Okay, you know what? I don't. Then how would this be even described?
Just can't believe I'm actually doing work.
This one, like, he just walked slowly. You know, he wasn't done quickly. He just walked slowly. And then he got. And then he went past.
But then it says he ran up,
Do you see he ran up?
And he ran all the way back.
down, ran.
And then he went back down.
So that kind of means that he's going slowly down. Isn't,
You're supposed to read it this way. Left to right, not right to left.
but he says he's going back home, right? Or
Dang, Tom did so many things. And he ran all the way back. He bought a newspaper and ran all the way
They're all
back.
about Tom.
What is with all the Toms? I walked to the store early and she bought a newspaper. Which one's this one?
Tom goes to a grocery store and goes up a hill.
they're not recording at all. They're not recording at all. Alright, so anyways. Okay. So.
That kind of doesn't make sense.
Alright, so.
Like, he has to stop at some point.
No, but like.
Why does it go up? I don't get
Okay,
that.
wait, where's the paper? The yellow paper? Yeah. Alright, can I see it? Alright, so Tom walked up the store and ended off the street, bought a newspaper, and then ran all the way back. But let's just say, for the graph, right? this means he's running up fast, right? Then he stops here. Then he's running up fast. This one. Slowly. I think this one should be this one, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's going back down.
I mean, this one should be this one. Yes.
Why?
Because he walked slowly and along the road.
Stopped to look at his watch, realizing he was late, and then started running.
So what would it look like when you stop?
It's just like playing like that.
A straight
So it's
line.
not that one. Never mind.
Why would it be a straight line?
Because he's not moving.
He's not going anywhere. So it's just
Motion.
So then what would be the difference here with this vertical line?
Going up a hill, stop.
Going up.
He's at.
Are you? Does it mean?
He goes up a hill when he stops. When he's at the hill.
So if I go outside my house and I go up a hill. So here's my front door, right? And I go outside and start walking up the hill. Am I getting further from home?
Yes.
Is that what's happening in that picture?
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
you're still in the same area
Why do you say that?
because it's
Because
standing
it
straight.
stops right here. It doesn't really go anywhere.
So if I put numbers in here,
And numbers here, it would be the same number. Just
what would be the same number?
The same height and
The time or the distance from home? What would be the same?
the time.
Would the distance from home be the same?
No, because it's
so it's the time that would be the same, but the distance would. I don't know what I'm saying.
the distance would be different. The time would be the same.
The time would be the same.
And these glasses aren't working. Okay. So the distance would be the same as well.
The distance is different. The distance is different. The time is the same.
So the time is the same, but the distance is not, cause then it could come
Because he
to
moves
right
a
here.
little bit away.
And then he's moving up, so then the distance can change, but the time is still, like, let's just say 60.
So are there any stories that match that?
You walk slowly upon a village. No, Tom. Is it that
You
one?
buy a newspaper? No.
I think we need to start all over.
I think it's this one.
Which
Why?
Climbs the hill, climb up the hill on top, and quickly back down. I think, yeah.
Yeah. But this is still going up.
But this kind of looks like a hill too.
No, but he stopped at it. He stopped at the top.
He's not getting any farther. He's just wasting more time. I think. Yeah, because this way meaning if he's going, how do I explain this?
You were saying.
He's still the same
These
distance
look
of
the
home.
same.
Are they?
No.
No,
They look.
one's leading that way. The other one's leading that
They
way.
still look the same.
Well, what does that mean as far as
The
How is that gonna
distance
impact?
is
He's getting
different.
farther in less time here and just wasting more time and then slowly going back.
how do you know he's going quicker here and slower here?
Because the steeper it is, the quicker he's getting away from.
From home?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I think that's correct. I don't know. Okay. So, slowly along the road. Slowly. Tom skateboarded on a.
You think she's correct, so what's happening here then? And I'm strictly just going off what you're saying.
He's getting further slow. He's getting.
He's walking slowly.
To be honest, I think it's
Yeah,
the
he's
same.
walking
Wait,
slower but getting
It's a little
farther.
bit around. Yeah, it looks like the same.
It is the same.
It is.
It is the same. It's just mirrored. It's mirrored.
I don't know.
I think that's the correct number.
This is over here and that's over there. Wait, no.
I'll be right there. Just at a glance, if this is distance from home, are either one of them going any further from home?
No.
No.
So which one starts out quicker?
This
The one on the left.
Why do you say that?
Because it's more
Because
slanted.
it's
The
steeper.
slope is like,
It's more steep.
it's not like
It's steep.
slanted.
It's steep.
Yes, yes.
Which means what in terms of distance and time?
That
Meaning that he's getting
Farther,
farther away.
faster.
He's getting farther away in a shorter amount of time than he would here, because he's getting the same distance, but in less time.
Okay, so now check the two that you had matched and see if you still agree with yourself. And then see, for what you guys told me, see if you find a story that matches that one.
okay.
Wait, which one did we have? Oh, this one. This one was with.
This one was the story. This was the story.
G and 1
This one was with.
Wait, we
this.
might have to start the story all over again because it doesn't match up with this.
I'm not writing it. It's your turn.
Fine.
because if Tom ran from his house to the bus stop and waited, it would be his home, the bus
How much
stop.
time did he wait?
It depends on how long
doesn't say.
it usually takes for the bus to get there.
Alright.
Then he realized that he
you guys
missed the
just wanna
bus,
start all over?
so he walked back.
You want to start all over?
The one with the slow one.
Because he starts off running.
Do you want to start all over?
It seems like the best option at this
Take that
point.
as a yes. We're gonna start all over, okay? Okay. Starting all over.
Back to square one.
So hard. My head hurts.
I just had to do that one time. Okay, okay.
don't know why.
I just. Okay.
Tom.
Oh,
That's a bit loud.
no.
I just did a whip.
Okay.
Wait, it's not equal. Oh, wait.
Wait.
After the party, Tom walks slowly all the way home.
I want
This one's upside down.
this one. Oh. Give me I.
This one's also upside down. This one's sideways.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got it. Okay.
Where's the straight? There's a straight line.
Yeah, I think that one's plain. I swear.
Which one shows where he
These are
he goes up?
matched. Pretty sure.
Just get two. Everybody get two. Tom walked away slowly along the road. Stopped and looked
one
at
could
his
be,
watch and
look.
realized. I think this one's this one. I swear. Because he stopped.
Tom ran.
And then he quickly
So he
started
He waited and
running.
he went back home.
Yeah, this one matches. Put on who says that. Tom skateboarded. Yeah, it's this
because-
one. It's totally F.
He walks outside with his friends.
No way.
Suddenly
okay, so I
realizes
started
he
running.
forgot his wallet, runs back,
That's it.
gets his wallet, and then runs back to his friends.
Yeah,
But this one, it doesn't show that he went back home. It said he walked home, but he never did.
yeah. This one has to go with the skateboarding. Because, like, he goes, he stops, he goes.
You're reading it wrong. It's left to right.
Tom ran. Which one shows where he waited?
I don't know. Rough edges.
Up to the Tom's home is a hill. He
went back
climbs slowly. It would be this one because he climbs slowly.
Tom skateboarded from his house.
Walks across the top.
So he's building up.
And then-
Wait, hold up. Building up.
Yeah, because this one's right.
This one's right.
This is what we got confused the last time.
This one's right.
Okay. This is what we got confused because someone
Yeah,
kept
it's
putting
this
the
one,
yellows
right?
along with all the whites.
No, this one's right. I think this one's right. Because it's like
Okay, far
rough
from his
edges. I'm stuck, man. Like,
Slow down to avoid some rough ground. Because he slowed down right here and he sped up again. This one could be it.
which ones are the ones?
I don't understand.
Tom walked up to the store
It's 'cause,
at
look.
the end of the street, bought a newspaper, and then ran all the way back. So I think
He was picking up. He was picking up speed right here.
No, for this one, I
He
think
slowed down right here and got speed again. So yeah,
this one,
probably
Tom
it.
walked to the store.
How about
So he went to the store, right? And then he ran all the way back. No, it's not this one. It's this one. This one goes with this one. This one's this one. Cause like, so
I feel like this one's wrong.
Right when he said, then he ran all the way back up. So he's running and then he stops and he goes slow down here back down.
It starts right here.
I know.
ran
Tom
from
walked
his
up to the
house.
store, so he went up. He stopped, and then he goes right here.
I think
No,
A8
wait.
is wrong. If you look at all the other graphs, they're all like straight line, stop,
But this
then
one
straight
he-
line, then stop, then straight line.
He
then
stopped
stop.
and waited. Was
This is the only one that has a curve. This is the only one that has an actual.
he
curve
never
in it.
walked back.
I think we need to write a story.
Home is right here, but he just kept going.
Oh yeah, this was actually right.
I don't know.
Can you like not step on my
Sorry.
Stop. Oh yeah, this one's right. All we need is this.
This one is so confusing. How does it go up?
It's going.
G and 1 go together because he starts out running, then he waits for the bus, realizing he misses it because he's not going any farther. He's just wasting time, and then he goes back home. That was like the first one we figured out.
I don't get these two. These are the ones I don't know. These I don't know.
How we doing?
Which is don't know these.
What did you tell me what's happening here?
He stopped, I guess.
Where are the rest of the stories?
Let's see you.
This one is the one you have to make up.
Here's a yellow,
Oh yeah, we just need to.
a yellow graph, and a story. What did you guys tell me was happening here?
That he was climbing, or
He's not wasting any time, but he's getting
no, he's
further away from his home. Say that again. It looks like he's not wasting any time trying to get further away from his home. Because, meaning since this is the distance away from his home is like this line right here. And the less amount of time, the distance that it takes from his home to this point, to point A or point B, it takes time. But from point B to point C, it takes him like it takes him less time to get from point B to point C, but farther from his home. Where's home?
back. Yeah, sorry.
So you're saying home is along here?
Oh, these stood at the same.
Yeah.
These are.
Wait, what?
Like if you were to actually have it in a straight line and you looked at it, you would see that he got from point A to point B in that time, but he got the
These are these both have the
meaning.
like the same.
Go ahead.
So I would.
If you had it like a straight line, but still had this as if.
That's 30.
I understand it. I just can't put it into words.
So you're saying along here is home. But like on this one, you match the story where he walked with some friends and suddenly realized he left his wallet behind. He ran home to get it. That shows running down here, but you're saying home is over here. So then when the graph had gone that way?
Oh, so this is when he realizes.
No, it's because we thought that so let's say like he comes here and then he forgets like his wallet over here, so he runs back home, and then he comes over here and catches up with his friends.
Where did he leave from?
Home.
So where's home?
Like over here.
Okay. And then what happened? From here to here?
Oh, where's the paper? Was it?
He was walking with his right.
No. Oh,
He was walking with his friends.
he left his wallet behind. He ran home to ran up to catch up. So he ran back
Where did he? Where in the graph shows that he ran back?
The slopes when they're going up.
Where did he run back to?
His friends.
So if I leave my home with my friends and say we walk like a half mile, and a half mile down the road I figure out I lost my wallet, where am I gonna run back to?
Home. And then it says you gotta, and then home to get it, and then had to run to catch up with my.
Okay, so where's home?
Here.
Is it anywhere else on there? Fine. He ran home. Where's home?
Here. So if he would have ran home, he would have to go up, right? This is home.
If this is distance from home and this is 0, if you're 0 miles from home, where are you?
At home.
So how far away from home am I here?
You're at home.
Oh my god! I was
Actually thinking that.
Yeah, because it's 0.
She was thinking of this.
You're at 0.
So if that's the case,
He starts from home. He's that far away. Then he's just like, just stays there.
is he staying there?
It looks like he's staying there.
Just wasting
Because then
time.
you guys matched up these ones, right? Like this one says he waited. He stopped. So is this stopping too?
Yes.
It's not straight.
I'm confused.
What's happening with time here?
It's passing.
So time is passing. Am I getting any further from home?
No.
What's happening with time here?
It's wasting time.
No, it's he's resting.
If I'm resting, what's happening to my distance here?
It's not moving.
Do you guys agree with that?
I think
When he had to walk across something in order to get farther, but like no.
You guys said this one time was passing, but distance wasn't changing. Is time passing there?
No.
yes, because it's going
Because
up.
he's not moving.
This is time.
In one frame. No.
I just think if we had numbers, probably not.
You could put numbers in there.
So let's just say this is 10.
Okay, so you say that's 10 minutes.
Oh no, never mind. So time isn't passing
It's not moving.
because it's not moving.
What's happening to the distance?
It's staying the same.
Stays the same.
He goes that far in one period of time, right?
So what if we did put numbers and this was like 3 miles and 5 miles?
He would move 5
Oh, the
miles up.
distance changed because he's going
I
higher.
moved 2 miles up. If it was, if this was 3
That
and this
3
was
that
5,
He moved 2 miles up.
in that short of amount of
What's
time.
happening to time?
It's moving. Oh, it keeps moving.
So if time stays the same, can I be in my classroom and the office at the same time?
Wait. Where did that one
Where
go?
did that one go? Is it that way?
So are you sure these ones are right?
Wasted
That's 2
time.
places at once. That's what it meant. That's what it meant.
Oh!
The realization.
Yes!
That feels
Yes!
Yeah, right.
It took us so long to realize that.
I feel dumb now.
Oh, because he's at 2 places at once! Wow! That's lame! Wow!
Yeah, the realization. The realization.
Because he's going from there and from there. There's the 2 places at once.
Well, technically, I guess he could be at 2 places at once if he had a twin. But like,
You're like, where's that?
I was like, I know where it is.
Yeah, I got that. That was literally making my head hurt so bad.
Wow.
I'm hungry.
You're always hungry.
I know.
When aren't you hungry?
Let's finish
Get up!
this
You need to
now.
help us.
I'm hungry.
I don't care.
You're supposed to care. I can
Now
start
that we got that over with.
We just came from lunch. What the heck are you talking about?
walks up to the store and he goes back. That would probably be that one.
But he doesn't go back home.
Oh, yeah. This one.
He's not going back home.
That's the
Well, he is. That was the friend one.
No, but
Let's just do this one. Make our own story with that
Look,
one and
look.
see if the other ones fit. See if the other ones fit.
What other one? The only other one's this one.
That one.
no, but Miss Rosales said that she thinks that this one's right or wrong. You guys think this one's
That
right?
one's right because we just figured out. Wait, where to go? That this one was wrong. I don't know.
So this one he's increasing up speed, and then he slows down, and then increasing speed again. I feel
I
great.
feel satisfied.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had a realization.
Yes. Very.
Went good for a second, then went back, and then good
I
again.
felt stupid.
For not realizing it sooner.
What's good about working in a group like this?
That
We get more work done together.
Teamwork.
We can see if we got it wrong. Where's the paperclip?
We work together to find
Why'd you take the paperclip?
there one.
Why'd you take the paperclip?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Time to eat.